should go to Ceramico. You should go to Ceramico for a renovation or building something new. Everything you're looking for is under one roof. From showers to tiles and everything in between, we've got you covered for all your bathroom needs. You should go, you should go, you should go to Ceramico.
For the community, Inspire Radio.
And we're back to Inspire Radio, and I'm joined by three wonderful people. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Sam, and we are representing the Concha dating app, and we're here with...
My name is Ronnie.
And I'm Zac.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so tell us a bit about the Concha dating app, what it is, how it's different, and sort of, how it came to be.
Sure. I'll take this one.
Okay, go for it.
So the Concha dating app is an app that allows people to use their voice rather than primarily all the other dating apps that are on the market that primarily are through texting.
Yep.
So our value proposition is that you have to use your voice before you can send a text.
Okay.
And what we think that is doing is preventing a lot of the sort of small talk texting fade outs that are synonymous with other dating apps.
Yeah.
So there's an increased level of investment when you use your voice as the first pass of communication.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so what about like someone like me? Even though I'm on the radio right now, I think my voice is my worst attribute.
No.
I have worse ones?
No.
They're all the same.
sure.
Yeah.
We've only just met you.
Yeah, I mean,
find out.
look at his face. This is why I do this, radio, because they don't see my face. That's why I do this.
We think it's also a bit of a confidence builder. So I think the first time you send that very first voice message, a lot of people put a lot of thought into it and are kind of a bit nervous about it. But once you get through one or two, it's actually quite good fun.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. All right, so like, how far along the process are you from starting out, pushing it out, and where you want to see yourself like way down the road?
I'll get this one.
Yeah.
So we have been working on this idea for a little over 3 years, and we have essentially just launched it on the market. We were advertised in Perth now almost a month ago, and that's just really helping the app take off.
Yep.
And so essentially we are just right at the beginning of this journey. Where we want to see it go is we want to go global, and we have dreams for it to be the biggest dating app in the world.
Of course.
So I'm just going to say it here. We are going to be bigger than Tinder and Bumble. That's our dream.
Oh, wow. So this is an exclusive,
It's a
right?
big goal. No, we're starting in Perth, so we're launching in Perth in our hometown. We did skip over a question you asked about how the app got started. Which is quite an interesting story. Did you want to try?
I think you deliver the story better. So Sam and I, we worked together, and a few years ago, we were like, let's go to Bali together.
Yeah.
Right. Like, just have a bloke's holiday. So one day, me and Sam, one night, me and Sam are just, smoking some shisha, and we're
just chilling.
We're just chilling, enjoying ourselves, and we're just like, we're looking through each other's Tinder profiles. Sam's helping me set up my first Tinder profile, actually.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting experience, but that's a different story. Okay? That's a different.
It was a
story.
bad experience.
It was
Okay, that's
Let's call
fine.
it two bad experiences. But
Do they have names? Do these bad experiences have names?
I can't remember. Let's talk. Let's get back on track.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened was, as guys do, we're just talking, we're just like shooting the shit, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And Sam's like, man, I just really want to talk to someone, right? I'm sick of all the texting, like this girl here. So he was telling me that this girl here had messaged him out of the blue after a year.
Yeah, like we were chatting, we matched, the text faded out as they always do, and a year later she sends me, "Hey, how are you?" As we were setting up his Tinder profile, and so I was like, "Look," I said, "So the downside of this is, Zac, is you're going to get these texts where that you can't actually talk to this person. It's just yet another text." So out of frustration,
I was just like, perfect idea. Oh, just call someone. Type a random number in.
just call someone.
Just
It's
call
like a
someone.
prank call, basically.
Yeah.
Prank call.
Oh, yeah.
We were
So-
doing it for just
Just for kicks.
bit of just for kicks.
Just
Yeah.
Now,
So
I will add that Zac and I, the first 7 digits of our mobile number is exactly the same.
Oh, I see.
And
So this
Zac,
is how it happened.
Yeah.
First, Sam called a random number. Nothing nothing happened.
Yeah,
It
just
was
got it.
so I was like, oh, well, you might get better results, right? If you just try my number, but just change the last 3 digits.
Yeah.
What happens is Sam speaks to someone who happens to live in Perth, works in the same industry,
That's
happened to have previously started a business. So it's
And
a lot-
single.
and single
And single.
Yeah, and just
Around the
ready
same-
for that
around
phone
the-
call.
around the right age, bought on a Friday night, like it was perfect.
literally everything just lined up.
I think
That's crazy.
So that's Ronnie. So Ronnie.
That turned out to be Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie answers the phone and says hello, and I said hi, it's Sam. She's like hello, and I said I'm just sick of Tinder and all the texting. I wanted to speak to someone real, and she goes me too. and the idea took root. So I think halfway through the conversation we realised that this is probably what we should be getting back to is talking to each other.
Yeah.
On dating apps rather than getting imprisoned behind texts and photos.
Definitely.
Which can be
Literally.
really, really frustrating. And I think there's a lot of people, there'll be a lot of people that are happy with the texting and that's the space they want to be in.
Yep.
And there's going to be a whole bunch of people like ourselves who are frustrated with that and actually want to speak to someone real.
Yeah,
And
no.
I honestly think that if people give it a shot,
Yep.
that they're going to like Concha better because
Absolutely.
you actually get to talk to someone. You get to hear someone's tone of voice
Yeah.
and it's way more personal. It's way more personal. You're not just like one text message among a sea of
Yeah.
many,
Just
like
a hey with
actually-
3 Y's and that's
Exactly.
that's you,
Yeah.
you know what I
Hey
mean?
with 3 Y's.
Exactly, which doesn't get a response
my
for
move.
2 hours, and then you because they don't know what to really say because that wasn't very inspired, right? But
Yeah.
I think the biggest criticism we've had, which I think is a moot point, is people saying, "Oh, I don't want to actually talk to anybody," and then we say, "But you're going to have to meet that person.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
on a
yeah.
dating app. You're
Yeah.
there to elevate that into a scenario where you're going to be talking to them in real life, and you're
Yeah.
probably going to have a phone conversation anyway."
You're going to have to converse at some
At
point if
some
you want to
point.
date
Exactly.
somebody.
So let's- so let's-
And we've had
this
feedback as well, people that were a little bit apprehensive to use it because
Yeah.
it's a bit of a confidence thing, right? You have to feel
Definitely.
confident within yourself. So we've had the feedback, I'm not sure, I don't feel really confident. But after they send their first voice message, they're like, oh, actually, hey, this is quite easy to do.
Yeah.
And then they're addicted to it because it's actually a lot of fun. So you get to record your message and listen to it as well before you send it. So there's that safety barrier.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
you can record that message as many times as you like until you feel ready and comfortable
You
with
can
it.
engineer it.
You can
a little bit.
engineer
A
it.
little bit.
Restart. That was done. Restart.
Take 22.
It still has to be you though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It still has to be
Yeah.
you though. And I think that's the key thing that you get out of it.
Yeah.
Is that you are investing a bit more of yourself than you are in some other dating apps.
And that's a good point too. It still has to be you. We think it will mitigate some of the fake profiles.
Like catfishing and
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
because
Yeah.
you can no longer. I mean, you'd have to. It's another barrier for, say, a man who wants to pose as a woman.
yeah.
And you can text and be that woman if you want to be, but you can't.
Yeah,
fake
true.
the voice. Really,
It's like some form of verification almost that you kind of
Yeah,
you can match
It
the
is.
voice.
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes like you hear someone's voice and it's an instant yes or an instant no.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's like, do I want to hear this for the rest of my life?
exactly. Yeah.
Is this the one I want to listen to?
Do I
Like-
want to hear
Literally.
it for the next 10 minutes? No.
yeah, exactly.
Or yes. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah, it's part of the screening process. So.
Yeah,
It really
but
is, yeah.
yeah, I think there is this kind of shift away from texting just in general. Like I find with my friends, I'm using like voice messages a lot more, just like in like Facebook and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because it's just fun to ramble to them and just them hear that
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I, it does feel a bit more personal. Like a text, I can see it there and I know what it says, and then I'll ignore it because I've already taken that message in, right?
Yeah.
But if it just says voice message, I'm like, all right, I have to open it up. I have to listen to it.
that's right,
yeah.
They've known that I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I have to
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah, well, that's interesting too. Actually, I've found that because I've been using our app.
Yeah.
And I've found that once you engage with somebody, it's a lot harder to. I think what we're hoping is it generates a more respectful community of people who
Yeah,
are dating.
definitely.
It's very easy to unmatch someone or delete someone
Yeah.
if you've just exchanged a couple of texts. But once you've heard their voice, it's a more difficult proposition. And I think you handle that relationship or that rapport more
Yep.
carefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we're hoping through this app as well that we change that culture. Like today, there's just an incredible amount of ghosting that happens.
Yep.
And we want people to be a lot more accountable for their behavior and just let that person know if there is a connection or not. And I think when you're talking to somebody, you should feel comfortable enough to say, look, hey, I'm not sure if we've got this connection.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have that spark with everyone. And I think everyone is going to know that and be accepting and understand.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Because, like, that is a big issue. Because I'm in a relationship now, but before, when I was on dating apps way back when, there was a lot of just like, you'll match with someone, like, oh, this is great. And then there was no, like, interaction there. There was no personality that could come through. So I feel like, yeah, if you're sending, like, a voice message, you're getting that personality, you're getting that rapport, you know. I can see how it's going to hopefully change things and sort of bring it back in, instead of it just being like another way just to peruse everything, you know.
Yeah. And I think you asked before, why did we call it, like, the reference to the conch shell?
Yeah, what's up with that?
So yeah, the conch shell has been a symbol of listening and talking. You know, you can put that big shell up to your ear and hear the ocean, kind of thing.
I see. Yep.
And it was a symbol of that old story, Lord of the Flies. If you were holding the conch shell, you had the right to talk.
Yeah, okay.
And then we researched it a little bit more, and I think it actually has been a symbol of talking and listening for many cultures throughout history.
Yeah.
And so, given that we're all about hearing the voice and listening and talking, it would seem like a good choice.
That's
at
really
the time.
interesting.
So
I totally did not make the Lord of the Flies connection.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's just
it's the origin of the story.
I'm just having flashbacks to Piggy, but
so does that come? I'm actually quite interested because the app's name is Concha.
Yeah.
And you did mention the reference to the conch shell, so you kind of got that. I know that it's not a huge aberration away from the word conch, but
yeah, because I don't think there's any other words similar. So I'm able to make that connection from an outside point of view.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, in my head I was just like I know there's something there. We listen to them, but I'm like, is there anything else? But yeah.
Yeah, we actually called it concha because the word conch just has a bit of a horrible kind of
Yeah.
conch. We can't do it conch.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh of a word. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a harsh word, so we call it concha, which means little shell in Spanish. So it still has that kind of reference there.
Yeah, and another thing, just a little tidbit, is it's actually part of the ear. One of the, like, shapes of the ear is called the concha. Scientific name. So
that's cool. Okay, I like that. So you've been on the market for, like, how long now? Like, since you've launched it in Perth?
Literally, I would say about 2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you got any success stories out of it, or is it more just like as positive feedback compared to, like, you know, just general success stories?
My sister almost had one. she met somebody the other day and was extremely excited about that. And I think because the exchanging, he had a very deep voice, apparently, very sexy deep voice. And so the exchange of the voice notes, and then there was a phone call. She was super excited about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Until she stalked him on other social media platforms.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
But but that's going to happen. I mean, it's, you know, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the exchange of voice and, you know, that elevation of kind of that feeling, she was really excited about it. So she'll continue to use it.
I'm talking to somebody as well on the app, on my app.
Right.
And may I just say, after I have a phone conversation, I feel so much happier because I've got to connect with somebody. Like, I currently live on my own.
Yeah.
And so having a conversation with somebody at the end of the night after work, it's really nice to get to know somebody and connect. And so you walk away feeling a lot more happier and connected. So I'm really enjoying using my app. So there is a really good positive story.
Yeah, because it is one of those feelings you get, like, after, like, a phone call. It's not necessarily a feeling of feeling refreshed, but you sort of feel like you've emptied this, like, pent up something. You know what I mean? You just feel like,
Exactly,
with all the isolation around these days as well.
Yes.
It's something that I think it's resonating with people.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god, the other question just slipped my mind. Gotta go to my my question.
Go to your little list there.
Yeah,
Your little list there.
Gotta see it all through. So, one of the things you might like. Do you reckon anybody's going to encounter any, like, sort of David Beckham kind of scenarios? You know what I mean? Where the voice doesn't match.
Yeah.
That might cause some kind of situations.
The first time I heard David Beckham's voice, I was
thrown off. Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah. I think shocked is more appropriate there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I can imagine, like, a lot. Some
It's
people.
almost the reverse, though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait, which way?
This mitigates it a little bit because I think,
It does,
and Ronnie was asking So I heard you talking the other day about saying, have you ever been on a date with somebody and you build up a vision of who you might be about to meet. If you met them on a dating app that's all texting and photos and you haven't spoken to them first, and a lot of people don't want to actually speak until they go on the date. I think they want the surprise. But once you've done that a whole bunch of times and it's failed, then you move to something like Concha where you're not wasting your time anymore.
Yeah.
But absolutely on those dating apps, there's definitely, I'm sure, hundreds of cases of people that get to the date and then hear the voice. And it might be the tone or it might be the accent or it just might be the whole package. And you think, well, if I had spoken to them first, I could have saved time, money, and emotional energy.
Emotional energy
Yeah,
is such
that's
a
a
big
big
thing.
one.
And that's a big one.
And
You
this
get
is
like
something
burnt out, right? Like if you're constantly going through
absolutely.
You
it,
got to recharge as well, right?
Yeah.
like it's another James.
Yeah. So instead of wasting all that time texting back and forth for 1 or 2 weeks or however long you spend, and then getting to the date and realizing that you've got absolutely nothing in common with that person, just clear that all out at the get-go on Concha.
True. Yeah, because I like thinking about it now. Like the more I sort of like put myself in that position, you're definitely going to get a lot more of the personality through Concha. Because like you know, you're texting. Everyone's text is the same stuff. You know what I mean? There's no personality in the texts. But you know, if you're using voice recording, you're definitely sort of, you can tell when someone might be like a certain type of person.
Yeah.
You know, someone that you can connect with, that kind of thing.
And it's so easy to upset somebody on a text as well. Like you try and inject a bit of your brand of humor and it's taken out of context. And all of a sudden, you know, has your tone changed? No. And then you try and salvage it. It's too late, and then you lose somebody.
You're just digging yourself a hole.
You just dig a hole. Yeah.
So okay, more of a personal question. Have you guys discovered anything about like yourselves? Because I imagine like this journey, sort of making this type of app, which is such a personal journey and an endeavor, especially because of, you know, where it started. You know, you guys were single, you just happened to connect this way. Is there anything you guys have found out about yourself, or if you've discovered anything, whether it's like a business standpoint, like a personal standpoint? Is there anything that you guys have?
Yep, I'll go first, I guess, because I'm sitting closest to you.
That works, yeah.
Yeah, look, we half answered your question before about when did we launch. We started this 3 years ago after the phone call from Bali.
Yeah.
After that moment, and then we spent about 6 months kind of like spitballing the idea and how would it work, and then we went into development, which took about a year.
Yeah.
And then we did some marketing, some test marketing in various locations globally, just to start generating some of our processes before, you know, formally launching in Perth. And I think after that, you know, what's that? 3 years? Is that 3 years now? 3 years. So for me, I probably learned about the sort of resolve that you have to go through this kind of process, because it's time consuming, it's expensive, and you have these incredible highs and lows. So, you know, you'll get 1,000 downloads in 3 days, and then you feel like it's finally coming together, and then somebody will upload a dick pic, and then you'll feel like the whole thing's about to collapse. And that was a story for another time. But
okay.
We've now got software in there that prevents people 99% of the time from uploading dick pics and nudity, and
very important, especially now.
So that's probably what I learned, is just the resolve that you need to have to do this sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think we're really quite lucky that we've got each other, and there's 3 of us, because there's going to be your ups and downs. And, you know, when I'm feeling a little bit uninspired and a little bit flat because we're not getting the results that we need, then somebody else is going to be the antithesis of that and be really inspired and be able to pull me along. And so there's been that throughout the whole journey. So we're able to support each other through those emotions, which has been really important and
that's
definitely helpful.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I guess we tend to be the best of us rather than the worst of us.
I like that.
And as well, in saying that, like personally, I've learnt a lot growing on this journey. I've learnt a lot from Sam and Zac, and they both keep me accountable to be the best person that I can be. So I'm definitely always reflecting on my behaviour and how I come across as a business partner as well, to ensure I'm doing the right thing by them. So always taking that time to reflect on, you know, myself and how I come across to my business partners and the world.
Yeah, because I imagine it's hard not only leading the charge, but sort of sharing that space with 2 other people, because you're trying to frontline this thing, as well as making sure that, you know, you're making sure everyone's heard and sort of present in the creation, stuff like that. I imagine it's difficult.
And that's interesting as well, because like I guess there are times when you sort of compromise, but there are also times when you don't compromise, right? Like there's one person like in the group that says that's clear about how something should be, right?
Yeah.
That's usually me.
And sometimes it's me and sometimes it's Sam, right? Actually, it's rarely Sam. Sam's typically quite the
mediator, like
or maybe just all round. I don't know, all rounder type thing. Anyway, but like sometimes it's just like we still tend to arrive at the same point. Like eventually, we just sort of like manage to convince each other. I think that's the important thing. Is that it's like
the compromise.
Yeah.
No, it's not compromise.
Okay.
Though, because one person wins.
Oh, I see.
But
I see.
Not one person wins. One person's viewpoint wins, and all three of us win. You know.
There it is.
It's more like talking through and hashing out the ideas, because we, over the years, have had so many ideas of creation with how we should develop something or what we need to do next in terms of marketing. And we're just throwing everything out there, hashing through it, talking through it. And then at the end, we get to the final result. And that comes through doing the analysis, whether we're crunching numbers or anticipating how people will react to something. We always get to that end result. But the funny thing is, like, sometimes we'll have an incredible idea about something or a few things, and that only comes after we've been able to talk about these concepts and throw them out in the air, and then we get to this end result and we get the final thing. Like, what was that? We've got a compliments feature, and which is different as again from what all the other apps have. This is like an animation that you can send to somebody, which makes you stand out to them from everyone else, and like that is a really cool idea. But we don't know who actually created it, because it's a culmination of all of our thoughts that came to this end result. And that's happened a lot on the journey.
That's really interesting.
And that's a good point. I never really thought of that, but that's happened with a lot of the things like the branding and the marketing, but even the logo. So that was a huge, long process, probably over a few months of which logo. We wanted it to be very simple, clean, iconic logo. And we went through about 170 logos, which I feel sorry for all the designers.
It took us, I reckon it took us between 6 and 8 months to find a logo.
Do you just get blind at one point? Like, because like I find if I'm like trying to choose, like, you know, like painting a room and you got all these colors and you're like, wait, they're all the same color.
Oh yeah.
like you know they're different, but you can't tell why.
we I think we spoke to so we got about 150 logos through one of those crowdsourcing. We spoke to 2 graphic designers and got drafting from one of those 2, and then we reached out to the app developer. The graphic designer who worked for the app developer was really, really good, and we asked her, because she was getting close to the app, if she had any ideas, and she presented 6 logos to us, and we were just about to choose one of those, and then we saw that she was working on this other one, but I don't think she rated it very highly. She wasn't going to present it to us. She actually had it on the app, on the beta version, and we opened up the app one day and saw it sitting there. And was like, stop! Like, what is this? What is this? This is. And we all 3 of us at one time went, "What is this?" I think we were in one of our meetings when we opened it up, and we're about to choose one of the 6 that she presented, and we were sort of like painfully landing on one.
We didn't like any of them.
It's like, oh, this one's probably the best. Let's just go with it. And then we opened the app, and there it was, and we all just went, "That's the one."
Were there many moments like that, like just sort of it clicks moments where everyone's like, "Wait a second, this is."
There's been a few, but then we also sometimes have to pivot away from some of those ideas. So there's been a few penny drop moments where we've raced ahead and done something. But it's all these are all steps on the journey. Like the marketing, we had a bit of a marketing sort of style at one stage, which we've sort of moved on from. But I suppose a lot of the decisions we make are purposeful for the time that we're in the journey of the development. So I'm happy where we're at the moment. I think it looks great. I think the functionality is really good, and we love the branding.
That's great.
Yeah, we're totally in love with our app and the branding and the functionality and all of our business values. So we're its biggest fan, and we hope everyone else will be as well.
Yeah, definitely. So earlier you said you had the compliment section, which is different from all the other apps. Are there any other features in your apps that are like specifically Concha? Or
well,
good question.
To be honest, it's the main one, right? Which is that you have to talk before you text. Talk before text is sort of the slogan we're using. And that was an interesting one, because that was a scenario where where we didn't actually have full agreement at the time. So initially, I think we were sort of going for like a Tinder or a Bumble, but there was, voice messaging and talking in it. And then I think at one point we thought about compromising. And saying, oh, let's just let people text, but we'll also add voice and stuff to it.
Yeah.
Right. Now later on, and then there was quite a robust discussion, let's say, around that, because I was quite adamant no, because then what's the differentiator? How are we different from a Tinder or a Bumble?
Yeah.
What if one day they suddenly just add voice messaging or video calling or something?
Which they did. During our journey.
Which they did.
Yeah,
exactly.
During our,
I can imagine.
if we had the funds to release it, 2 months after we thought of this idea, we probably would have been one of the only dating apps that had that functionality in it.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in one of our meetings one day, probably early on in the development phase, and I got a notification from a competitor just saying, "Hey, we've now added voice messaging and phone calls." And I rocked up at the meeting pretty devastated.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But then the one thing that they don't have the ability to do is go back and say, okay, you have to do this first. So that's our value proposition is you can't jerk somebody around with texting.
Yeah.
You've got to enter straight into the voice zone.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah. Oh my God. I had it lined up. I swear I did. I had it lined up.
That's right.
And then my brain just went, you know what? Forget about it. Oh no, it's not there. That's upsetting.
No more questions.
Oh no! What? No, that's
we can talk about this forever.
I figured.
That's the problem.
No, I had something in the back of my head. You guys said something, and I'm like, "Ooh, nice." And then I let's hang on to that thought for a second.
Yeah, I think in terms of the differentiation, it is really the voice stuff. The compliments we like because there's some really cool animations in there.
Yeah.
I think other apps you can sort of make yourself stand out by sending, I think they're called super likes or something, but ours is taking it to the next level where I think we've got 6 animations, so you can send a preset message.
Yep.
So because we don't let people text, we've pre-selected or we've given them options of about 10 or 15 different kind of cute introductions to oneself, and you can couple it with an animation. We've got coffee. So like
coffee fireworks, roses, I think
love hearts, champagne,
Yeah. So you can send somebody a bottle of champagne with a message that says, "Hey, nice to meet you," or some predetermined thing. So it's pretty cute to see it pop up.
Yeah, and we also throw in like the sort of ironic, just hey.
One of the options.
Throw it in. You have to throw it in. It's a classic.
One of the options is it's a classic. Yeah. I've been using it a lot lately. Trying to do the minimalist kind of approach.
Less is more.
Hey, flowers.
Get in there. So from like a business standpoint, what did like each of you bring to the creation?
That is such a good question.
Just thought of it.
Yeah, no, really good.
We all have different set of skills that we bring to play and
personalities
and
particular set of skills.
And it's great because we are working on this app ourselves. We are not hiring a lot of people apart from the development and some of the marketing. But the way I see it, and I haven't told the guys this yet, so let's see what they think.
Oh gosh.
I think I bring to the table more so business. So I do a lot of business operations and strategic approach to the direction where we need to go. Sam does a lot of the content creation, quality assurance, and Zac does financial modeling and the technical.
I'm the tech guy.
He's the tech guy.
The tech dude.
So anything like really technical in terms of the app or
process stuff,
anything process
flow.
And I'm very detail oriented.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a job interview. Okay.
He's a ones and zeros guy. If then.
Come on. No, actually, what's interesting as well, because I sort of going back to what you asked earlier is like, what have you sort of learnt about yourself? One thing I have learnt about myself is, I guess, I'm more creative than I thought.
Yeah.
He's
You know?
very creative.
He's good, man.
Very-
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a lot more creative than I thought I was, and
I wrote him off
enjoy
as
it a
well.
lot.
There was a time where I wrote him off. I was like, "You're not the marketing guy," and he's actually really good.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
come up with
I
some
read
great,
a lot.
great
Okay,
ideas.
I
Watch
see.
a lot.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he designed a poster for us recently, which I thought was a cracker. It was just a big pink poster that said "single," and
Yeah.
then we had the QR code at the bottom of the poster. So and
That's
we put them,
good.
we plastered them around Northbridge and Mount Lawley.
Smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so,
Hit the claws.
as we were putting them up, we saw people, gravitating
Yeah,
towards them
it's-
because the
yeah.
colours really vibrant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was just that question of single.
Yeah.
Will
Did I
solve your
see that
problem.
poster somewhere?
Maybe there's,
Maybe
there's
I
some
did.
stickers around as well.
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that we,
It's triggering something in my
there's
head.
more coming.
So, like, rebounding off that, like, is there a future you want to, like, where do you want to take it in the future in terms of marketing? Because social media, as big as it is, it's like people's greatest advertising tool right now.
Yep.
Like on TikTok, I can't escape certain ads, man. And they're
Oh, really?
yeah, like
Okay.
they'll just it'll be the same ones as well. They'll be coming up.
Interesting.
Tinder just had a massive stint on TikTok, a massive
Really?
stint. Yep, they had
Okay.
a massive thing, and they were partnering with content creators as well.
Okay.
So they were making like TV shows, but it's like 1 minute long about Tinder, and it's died down now. I think they've stopped doing it now, but yeah, that was like for about 3-5 months just of that, and I couldn't escape it. And it's not even like it's
Interesting.
a metadata thing, because I don't use Tinder.
Yeah.
I'm in a
even
relationship,
single
so it's not
anymore,
even
yeah.
like it's targeted ads. It's just because I'm an Australian, and
Yeah.
it's a partner with all the Australian creators that I like and stuff like that. So
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so where's
Yeah,
the future with that?
Our TikTok journey started last week, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I posted my first TikTok video.
Oh, wow.
600 views in 2 days. Is that good? Is that good?
Starting
Is that
out, yeah,
good?
yeah. What we're
First
gonna
ever video.
But I'm wondering if it's
Yeah.
some sort of algorithm, because it got to 597 views and then it just stopped. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking if they just like pumped it out because it's my first one.
that's what happens. Your first few videos, they get pumped out, and then it's like a steady climb from there.
I should have made a better video.
Hey, no, you still got time. You're in the early stages.
Yeah.
It's
So yeah, I mean, our marketing ambitions are commensurate with our budget.
yeah, obviously.
So we've done a bunch of Google ads, a bunch of Apple ads. We've advertised on Perth Now.
Yeah.
We're in discussions with other radio stations at the moment as well.
Yep.
What else? What else have we done? Website looks great.
We've reworked the website like 6 times.
Yeah,
I think
we like it at the moment.
it's better than it. Definitely a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
But
the-
it's sort of like as you learn more about what you need to do, you just sort of switch it on you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
This whole journey, because we're so dedicated to it, is a process of working out where we're getting positive responses, whether it's marketing or in-app kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Downloads, purchases, or something, and then pivoting into what works well
Yeah.
and away from what wasn't working. So we just keep kind of like turning those dials until we get this as to be a machine that's getting downloads and working and providing a service
exactly.
to people
Yeah,
that makes them
definitely.
happy.
And I think in terms of marketing as well, what we're really looking forward to is getting our voice out there, and TikTok is going to enable us to have that platform where we can do that. We initially were creating a lot of videos just to get people thinking about how they come across on the app, giving them some ideas on how to create a really good profile, some things that they can say to their match. We crafted all these videos for Instagram.
Yeah.
However, it didn't turn out that was the right platform.
Yeah.
So now we're going to look at pivoting and putting that on TikTok. And down the track as well, we'd perhaps like to try and see what that would look like if we can put 30-second videos in the app itself. So when people are swiping, then they'd get like a video at one point and they can choose to play it and then listen to some educational content on how to bring them their best selves.
Yeah.
Dating
So like dating,
advice.
yeah. that's
Dating
it.
advice, yeah. Dating advice, emotional intelligence advice.
Sexual health, that kind of stuff as well. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's actually important. That's
Yep.
Yeah, because
good idea. We'll write it down.
Took it to a weird
Thanks.
place, Alex.
oh, I'm so sorry. I made eye contact as well. Oh gosh.
Why
What have I
you
done?
say that?
Just be real about it, all right?
No, I'm just saying that
Yeah.
it's a modern world. People need
That's
information.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
No, that's
Because
a good idea. We'll
like a-
credit you in the app for that.
oh, perfect.
yeah, that could be the winner.
Yeah, it'll just be Alex, that guy that time that did the thing.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I wonder how many downloads we're getting right now, actually.
Yeah, everyone's doing it. I'm going to tell one of my friends who's really single. I'm going to tell him to do it.
Yeah, you should.
He's really single.
Really single.
Really single.
Not just
As in-
single.
No. Well, first of all, his big mistake was playing D&D with me. All right, so he plays D&D with me.
Yep.
And whenever he's
Is
not,
that Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Just needed to clarify.
no, you got it.
Still a thing.
It is. Hey, it's good stuff, man.
You know that.
And whenever I'm DMing my game and he's not doing something, I look over and he's on Tinder.
Oh.
And the thing is, right, I live way up north, and he lives like down this end. And so he, when he comes to my house, he's got like a different set of people. So he's just like trying to get in there. He's going through them all, and I'm just like,
so he's in a different location.
yeah.
So it's
I'm
all
like,
new
buddy,
for him.
your character's dying, and he's like, yeah, I don't
He's
care.
completed Tinder up in his area.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
won Tinder
yeah.
by losing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'll get him on it, and I'll get his
good.
feedback, and I'll see what gets
Please
out.
spread the word.
Yeah,
We'd be
tell all your
happy to
friends.
have him.
Tell them to tell all their
I'll
friends.
tell everyone I know who's single.
Please.
Yeah.
Get on Concha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk before test.
And if things don't work out with you, please.
I wouldn't wish
We
that.
want to be the first place that you
Let's
come
not
to.
listen.
I think my girlfriend's
It's not
listening.
a curse, is it? Yeah.
But yeah, no. Well, is there anything else you wanted to?
No, really. Just thanks for allowing us to share our story.
Of course.
Obviously, that we hope that if you're out there and you're single, that you'll download Concha
Yeah.
and have a look at it.
I think whilst I've got this platform, I'm going to take an opportunity to say, when you're loading profile pictures,
Yeah.
please make sure you're smiling.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a really big deal.
seriously.
That's
Yeah.
a big
Like,
thing.
come
yeah.
on.
It's the only thing that we couldn't really police. We've got some software in it.
Come on.
What we didn't
No.
want.
No. Are you saying come on?
Like, come on, like, it's so obvious,
Smile.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There's some people that aren't smiling, and it doesn't bring a lot of life and energy and attraction
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah.
It's there. If you want to match, smile on your profile picture, and it will just change the whole game. And as well, I've seen a couple of people. I'm going to say guys.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm going to
You can do it. You can do it.
generalize.
You can do it. It's fine.
Take a selfie pic, and I can't see them clearly because there's toothpaste splatters all over the mirror.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to take a selfie in the bathroom, like that's
Yeah,
cool.
clean the
Just
mirror.
make sure your mirror is
Get some
clean.
Windex. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Choose
Clean
the setting.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Choose the setting. Choose the clothes.
Yeah.
The
Smile.
best thing to do,
Yeah.
right, is get a new shirt, have a shower,
Yeah.
go out to the park or somewhere, and get your friend to take a few good photos of you.
It's
Yeah.
actually true.
You can even like find a photographer. There's heaps of people on, any of these other like
Yeah.
apps, Airtasker. Find a photographer and just get some really good photos taken, because it's going to really change the online dating
It's
game.
a small investment that's
Yeah.
gonna
Small
like
investment,
pay off.
big
we
payoff.
see a lot of we discuss this quite a lot because obviously we're in the industry, but we see a lot of profile photos where people are wearing sunglasses or in a group of 10 people and you can't
Yeah,
figure out which
yeah,
person
yeah.
it is. I've seen people with profile photos wearing their wedding dress, which I find really odd because I'm thinking,
Yikes.
what are you trying to tell us? Are you still married? What's happening here?
I'm trying to be open.
Do you just think that you look beautiful on that day, and then you're like, "This is a
Yeah.
great photo of me"? So it's really odd because I think having those educational videos in our app when we get
Yeah,
there would
I
be-
see. Yeah, that'd be
just on
interesting.
how to create a decent profile because people keep missing the mark. Weird selfies from odd angles, double chins,
Yeah.
kind of poor lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see up their
Yeah,
noses.
why,
and
why bother?
Yeah.
It's just like I've
Just get
taken
a
one
friend.
photo in my lifetime. I'm gonna put it on there. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like people don't want
Just
to.
get a friend to look at it first, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You're telling a story of who you are. So really be analytical, be critical of the photos that you're taking.
Yeah.
And understand that you need to show the best part of yourself.
Yeah.
And that is, good photos from when you're on holidays, as well as getting those professional headshots taken.
Holding a puppy,
Oh god.
wearing
Not a fish.
wearing a uniform,
Yeah.
women in uniform.
Yeah,
curated
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
You just need 2 good outfits and 2 good pictures. That's
Yeah.
what you need.
Yeah.
That's
That's
all you
it.
need.
Yeah.
Oh, 3, 4 photos is better.
Yeah.
Minimum
4's
4.
better, yeah.
Yeah.
2 minimum. That's really.
You have to be.
If you're, here's
Yeah.
another one. Here's another one. If you're gonna put 2 pictures up, make sure you're wearing different clothes. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
think you only have one set of clothes.
Yeah.
But it's true. I do. How did you know?
Yeah.
I've only got one pair of black jeans. Okay, actually, this is more of a personal question. How do you feel about guys holding up fish?
Oh,
In their
seen
dating
I've seen
profile.
women holding up fish too. So
I listen-
oh, so sorry.
six of the fellas, anyone holding up a dead
people,
fish.
yeah. Yeah.
I only see that on Facebook when they're expressing conservative views about sex.
I don't want to go there, but yeah, you're exactly right. as soon as you see the fish, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder who replied to my comment on this thing. Oh, he's got a fish?
Yeah.
It's that one, and then it's the jumping out of the airplane, the skydiving photo.
Yeah.
With the face peeling back off the head.
Yeah.
And it's like, we get it, you're outdoorsy. We get it.
So adventurous,
Yeah,
man.
you're an adventure man.
You're
Yeah.
so adventurous,
No,
man.
you're just setting them up. It's like, this is what I'm going to look like when I'm 60 years old driving a top-down car. Like,
Everybody loves camping in the outdoors.
yeah.
Nobody says, I'm indoorsy, just love sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Everyone's like, I love adventures. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah. Sorry, what do you really love?
You just go to Krispy Kreme every day. What are you talking about?
It's like Netflix on the couch, be honest.
That's right.
Anyway, well, look, it's been lovely to chat. It's been lovely to get to know you guys, get to know the app. Is there anything else you'd like to
Download Concha now.
do it?
Available at the app
search
stores.
for it either just search for Concha Date or Concha.
Oh, yeah, Concha
app.
Date. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we searched for Concha and
No, it
it's
comes
bread.
up on the apps.
It's bread. Some
No,
sort
if
of
you
bread.
if you search Concha on
It's
Google,
a Mexican dessert.
it's a Mexican
Wait,
dessert.
I think I've had these before. Hold up.
Conchas.
Yeah. No, they are. They definitely are because I've
yeah,
definitely.
I'd
Scroll
like
down.
to try one actually.
There you
Oh,
go.
that looks good.
They look
Yeah,
delicious.
well, that's what,
It looks great.
that's what we said.
Yeah, it looks great, but we want to be number one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you search for Concha Date though or Concha app,
Yep.
you will definitely find it.
Yeah, you'll find
Easy.
it number one.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for coming down. It's been great talking
Thanks,
to
Thanks
you
for
guys.
having us.
We'll just cut to some songs. If I can play it. There.